to declare neutrality, to distance themselves from the conquered's arrogance. But Earth did not respond. Their fleets still roamed, their soldiers still marched. Humanity spoke only through fire, and the galaxy listened in terror. Ashes and silence. On the ruins of Vorakar's council chamber, where Dravari senators once mocked human weakness, now stood the black flag of Earth. The last surviving senator, captured and dragged before human commanders, dared to ask, Why this total war? Why no mercy?" The human general looked down, voice steady, cold as steel. "Because you celebrated too early." And with that, silence claimed the conquered forever. The lesson written in stars. The galaxy remembered. Where once they saw humanity as dreamers, farmers, and traders, they now saw something else. A species that could wait in silence, endure in patience, but when provoked, unleashed vengeance vast and merciless as the void itself. Whispers spread across trading halls, council chambers, and shadowed taverns. Never provoke Earth. Their patience is deep, but their vengeance is infinite. The stars themselves seem to carry the warning, carved into the silence of ruined worlds. Humanity returned to its colonies. They rebuilt Shanavar III, brick by brick, stone by stone, on the scorched soil where their enemies once danced in arrogance. The new city's founding monument bore no elaborate words, just a single line. "We do not forgive, we do not forget." And across the galaxy, civilizations shivered. For the memory of humanity's silence, and then its fury, would never fade. They thought they had struck the final note of humanity's story. The Zurith Dominion, a sprawling empire of reptilian conquerors, unleashed their fleets upon a remote human colony, Vera 9, a small, green world on the galactic fringe, home to farmers, scientists, and children. No war fleet stationed, no weapons worth mentioning. The Zurith didn't come to conquer, they came to erase. Their bombardment rained fire from orbit, cracking cities into molten glass. Refugee ships that tried to flee were shot down, their wreckage scattering like burning meteors across the sky. To the Zurith, it was not a battle, not even an act of war. It was entertainment. On their command vessel, Admiral Carvox watched the destruction through panoramic displays. His second-in-command hissed, "Humans are soft-blooded dreamers. They make colonies but never defenses. They will never rise to meet us." Carvox's scaled lips curled in amusement. Exactly. A child that dares to wander in a predator's den must be taught its place. Today the galaxy sees humans are prey, nothing more. When the final human distress signals crackled into silence, the Zurith raised their banners, broadcasting the annihilation across the galactic net. Billions across the Dominion cheered. The colony was gone, every inhabitant slaughtered. And still the Dominion was not finished. Prisoners, scientists captured from research stations were paraded before alien crowds, mocked, tortured, executed as sport. The message was clear: Earth is powerless. Humanity is beneath us. The mockery of victory. Across the Zurith homeworlds, feasts erupted. In great halls lined with banners of conquest, they drank spiced blood wine, roaring with laughter at holorials of the burning colony. Children of the Empire were taught that humans were weak vermin who had been corrected. "Earth will do nothing," one senator proclaimed before the Dominion Council. "They are philosophers, traders, wanderers. They lack the iron to retaliate. They lack the heart for vengeance." The crowd cheered thunderously. Propaganda flooded alien channels. Holographic plays mocked human fragility. Merchants sold trinkets forged from scavenged human tech, labeling them souvenirs of conquest. The galaxy watched, too. Many species nodded in silence, resigned to humanity's humiliation. Some pitied them. Others secretly agreed with the Dominion. Better that the humans be crushed now before their numbers grew too large. For a time, the stars seemed to accept the narrative. Humanity had been broken, and nothing more would follow. The silence before the storm. But in the void between stars, silence is not weakness. It is preparation. For weeks after the massacre, Earth said nothing. Their channels went dark. No declarations of war, no threats, no council appeals. To the arrogant, it looked like submission. To the wise, it was something far colder. When the first whisper came, it spread like wildfire, fleets vanishing from human space. Civilian traffic diverted, trade lanes emptied. Old shipyards that had been dormant for centuries roared to life, their furnaces igniting like small suns. The Dominion laughed at these rumors. Too late, they sneered, too small. But then came the calm silence. No human voice answered galactic hails. No ambassadors appeared at council halls. Entire star systems once bustling with humanity now lay eerily quiet, every outpost withdrawn, every beacon extinguished. The galaxy shivered. This was no retreat. This was humanity coiling. And then the message came. A single transmission, simple, flat, almost surgical in its delivery. This is Earth Command. You struck our people, you celebrated. You believed we would endure your cruelty in silence. You were wrong. Retaliation is underway. May your stars bear witness. Every listening station across the galaxy recorded the words. The translation was flawless, chilling in its precision. The silence had broken. The awakening of Earth's wrath. The first signs were distant flashes. Entire Dominion patrol fleets snuffed out in minutes. Survivors, few and scattered, spoke of ships emerging from warp with no warning, human vessels bristling with weapons unseen in centuries. Not civilian craft, not defense frigates, war machines. Dreadnoughts, each the size of cities, engines burning blue fire across the void. Carrier groups unleashing wings of fighters with surgical efficiency. Rail cannons that fired slugs the size of buildings, tearing through shields like paper. Rumors spread of weapons humanity had sworn never to use again, planet crackers, antimatter lances, stealth fleets that slipped through space undetected. Humanity had not been building for commerce. They had been waiting. Every star system touched by the Dominion began to feel the tide shift. Human forces appeared like phantoms, striking supply depots, shattering communication relays, isolating fleets before vaporizing them. The galaxy watched in horror and awe. What Dominion propaganda had mocked as a prey species now moved with terrifying coordination, their vengeance unfolding with mathematical precision. And still Earth itself remained silent. The fleet spoke for them. The day of reckoning. When humanity finally arrived at the Dominion's heartworlds, it was not an invasion. It was an execution. The human armada appeared across their skis without warning. Thousands of ships, dreadnoughts, cruisers, carriers, blotting out the stars in an endless wall of steel and fire. The Dominion scrambled every defense. Planetary cannons fired, swarms of warships launched. Admirals screamed orders into chaos, yet the response was futile. The first volley from Earth's fleet turned their defenses to ash. Rail slugs slammed into orbital stations, tearing them apart in seconds. Planetary shields, once thought impenetrable, failed under focused human bombardment, collapsing in arcs of molten plasma. Then the ground assaults began. Human drop pods rained from orbit like burning meteors, slamming into cities, unleashing armored soldiers who moved like relentless machines. Every resistance was crushed within hours. And the voice of Earth echoed across Dominion channels, broadcast to every world, every citizen, every soldier. You murdered our children, you mocked our dead. You believed we were incapable of wrath. Now you will learn, humanity's patience is vast, but our vengeance is infinite. Entire Dominion fleets were eradicated in hours. Their proudest shipyards became smoking craters. Cities fell silent under human control. The great banners of conquest that once mocked humanity were torn down, burned, and replaced with silence. The galaxy trembled. This was no war. This was judgment. The aftermath of silence. When the fires dimmed, the Zurith Dominion no longer existed. Their admirals, their senators, their rulers, all gone. Their fleets scattered, their people broken, their arrogance burned away in humanity's fury. The galaxy, once filled with chatter, now whispered in hushed tones. Survivors spoke of fleets that blotted out suns, of weapons that silenced worlds, of soldiers who fought with the coldness of inevitability. And everywhere one phrase lingered, spoken in fear, in awe, in reverence. Never provoke Earth again. No one celebrated. No one mocked. Every species that had once doubted humanity now looked upon Earth with a new understanding. They had discovered the truth too late. Humanity may forgive. Humanity may endure. But when their wrath is awakened, it is absolute. And in the void between stars, silence once again returned. But this silence was not weakness. It was a warning.